Turn on your server.
Yes, sir.
It's ready. So LT Tor DC1, please power on.
What else are remaining? I mean, he covered everything, right? Regarding the server and
Server and
client
client.
between.
Do you want to talk about?
No, I just want to know if everything is covered. This is it. I know this thing is wide, but just a review. I think because these people, they don't understand what it is for.
They don't understand what I say?
No, he said in good way. Not bad.
No, no, I have the password of that.
All you need to know is just what. Yeah, you don't need. You don't need that.
So guys, you listened about the servers from Frank and then Amin and then Sohrab. Anyone has any question? Or it's clear?
Would love to
Hear more?
Yes.
get a brief.
All of the servers will have a different versions, like you said 3.1 for the NT, so it is same for the 2003 and what is the versions? Are you just trying to update?
NT was whatever we had before 2000, all are NTs servers. That was the beginning of the servers from Microsoft side. And Microsoft was using over there as one directory as well as we are using in recent servers, Active Directory. We will talk about it. So NT before 2000, and then from 2000 it introduced the server we are interacting nowadays almost. But with each and every new release of server 20 Windows Server, Microsoft introduced new features. Always new features. When any system Microsoft released, it comes with the best form. They have tested it in different environments through different vendors. After testing, they released the operating system. But even then, the hackers and the other guys keep working on it to find out the loopholes. And then Microsoft start releasing the patches, updates, hard fixes. So different ways Microsoft handles those loopholes. And then they are, in a huge amount, they release a service pack then. They always come up with a service pack. So if we want to, we have very old operating system we bought way earlier, we didn't use it, and now we want to use that server that was in our repository sitting idle. So first we will have to apply all of the patches, but we cannot go all of the patches what Microsoft has released immediate after the release of the server. So what we do first we release the service packs. So Microsoft has Service Pack 1, Service Pack 2, Service Pack 3. We apply those service packs and then we will start applying the recent patches. So it's a way. But the thing is, when Microsoft, the engineers keep working, when they come up with new ideas, new things in the servers to meet the recent needs of the era, then they release new server, totally new release. As it's the Microsoft releases 3.1, 3.4, 3. And then 2000, 2003 R2, then server 2008 R2, 2012, then 2012 R2, and now we have Windows Server 2016. And they all of them have different features, especially Active Directory Microsoft introduced with the release of Server 2000. When Microsoft released Server 2000, Microsoft introduced Active Directory. That is a huge difference and a big change in IT. No matter what the environment companies are using, every company has Active Directory for centralized management, for centralized authentication, authorization, auditing, monitoring, accounting. For those things, they are using a centralized platform, that is Active Directory. And Active Directory released at 2000. And it's not the case. It looks like when we are configuring, sometimes it looks okay, these are the similar things, just interfaces are different. It's not only the interfaces are different, there are different features are changed. They introduced different features and they upgraded the features as well. With every new release, features are more advanced in every form of. If we are talking about the clustering in 2008, a little different than 2012, it's a little different. 2016 almost same, but in 2016 Microsoft introduced totally different features as well. 2008 was not ready for cloud. 2012 was the first server that was cloud ready. Now we are studying, right? And then the server 2016, they came up with only the idea of the cloud computing. So they make it like this. So it's a cloud operating system. So it's with the passage of time, everything always get refined.
They're too late for. They're too late for cloud computing.
They're too late.
So we have a problem for a server. It shows that it doesn't have.
So if we have a client, so this client has everything. It has CPU, it has memory, it has hard disk, everything. All the components required to handle an operating system a client machine has. And the server, the same things a server has. But what the difference is, as you guys were discussing earlier, so server serves the client to the clients. So if it providing services to multiple clients, no doubt we need more computing power there. So with that frame of mind, they came up with the idea of the multiple components of a machine. They took the same PC, put into a big enclosure, and then add multiple components. And then they make the motherboard like that, so their motherboard can handle multiple components over it. So more than one CPU, more than one RAM, more than one hard disk. So everything we may have multiple, even power supply or those things. So those multiple components provides more computing power to handle all of those clients' requests. So clients can address those. The clients' requests can be addressed by this server. Otherwise, if we are installing the operating system on our PC will start serving, but it will not be able to handle a lot traffic, because we have only single component over here, and when it's serving others, we want this machine to be redundant. So if any component fails, even then machine should be up and running and available to the clients. Before, if it was a only single PC, the effect was it was affecting only one guy. But if multiple people are accessing that machine for multiple reasons, so it's serving now multiple people. So if now this machine will go down, it will affect maybe 100 and 1,000 clients. It can affect. So they introduced multiple components within one enclosure, and then with the passage of time, they came up different idea. Okay, if the whole server goes down, then what the solution is? Then how we can make it highly available? So even then, the application is that is accessing by the any client or any end user, he should be able to keep accessing that application. So application shouldn't go down. So then we have network load balancing, clustering, different features are there, right? So all of features we have in our Windows Server operating system. So wherever, if we are installing client operating system on a machine, it's a client. If we are installing server operating system on a machine, it's a server. So any question?
Yes, sir.
You have question? Okay.
I just want to clarify the confusion.
Yeah.
So, like almost when I was starting up with Microsoft or servers, I thought server is like something very fancy, you know, in a rack mounted, and it's like you can only use that as a server, nothing else. And I came up to conclusion that no, that's not the case. That was even a UPS. It was not even a server.
Yeah. See, the idea is we came up with the idea of VM and we installed server operating system on top of it. Before in the Network Plus class we installed client operating system on top of it. The same machine we are creating and we are installing different operating systems. With different operating system it start behaving differently, right? So why we need operating system? It controls the hardware. It helps us to interact with that hardware. If we have a storage, we have different files and folders there. How we can access those files, right? So we need someone to help us, and that is operating system. Then if we want to use the RAM, how we can use it, right? We can want, okay, the memory, our files and folders shouldn't be stay all the time on the persistent storage. It should be on the non-persistent as well. So for immediate access, for immediate work, the access is being provided by operating system. It helps us to talk to our hardware. So all of the hardware components we are accessing through operating system. It gives those hardware components our interface. We keep interacting with that, right? So guys, we have now Server 2012 R2 installed on our VM. So the first thing is a server manager. Whenever we turned on our machine, one of the tool automatically get installed, you know, it pop up, and that is a server manager. So most of the time we can do multiple things using only this server manager, and we don't need to go to the control panel and other areas to access different tools. They try to put a lot of tools on the server manager at one place. It's a dashboard in front of our server manager's dashboard. So on dashboard, as on the car dashboard, we have different things, right? We don't need to go on the back seat to access them, right? So it's our dashboard. So we have on dashboard, we have configured this local server. The one thing, local server is here as well. So all the configuration to assign the IP address, to rename the server, power off, power on the firewall, to access firewall, to access the time zone, everything we can access through our server manager. Add roles and features. If I click on this, it gives me option to install multiple roles on it, and these are the roles we are able to install on this server. And as Frank was discussing, okay, we have web server, we have SQL server, we have this type of server, that type of servers. Those are the basically roles we assign to a server to perform. Okay, now please server start performing this role. And whatever the role we will assign, we all are humans, right? But what we are being, if someone is cooking, we say it's a cooker, right? So if I'm a IT guy. You guys will start calling me IT consultant, IT instructor, IT this, system administrator. So according to the role, I am being called. So whatever the role we will install on top of these servers, we start calling the server according to its role. If I will install Active Directory on it, I will start calling it domain controller. So domain controller is that holds the Active Directory on it. So if I'm installing DHCP server role, it's a DHCP server from onward. DNS server, we will start calling it DNS server. So whatever the role we will install on top of it, it will start behaving like that. Now we have assigned, we have we learned, after learning the IT, we will be either system administrators, network administrators, consultants. We will be capable enough to take care of those things, right, related to our job. So we make it enable. Okay, now you are capable to perform this role, please start performing this, and we start calling it according to the role. So it can be a web server, it can be any type of server, it can be. But where we are installing this role on top of Windows operating system, it's a Windows Server operating system. In client side, we are say it's a Windows operating system and Windows Server operating systems.
So we can add multiple roles on one server, right?
Yeah, we can as many roles we want to add to any server. We can install many roles on one server. It will start acting like that, but usually we don't go for that. In our labs, we will be doing the same thing. We will be keep installing multiple roles on the same server, and we will be calling the same server. Okay, it's my DNS server, it's my DHCP server, it's my domain controller. But in production, one role on each server.
Sir, one question.
Okay, sir.
I was just wondering, like, what is the curriculum of, since we are starting in Series 8?
Yeah, you want to know curriculum?
Yes,
So when you guys need to go to know what we are going to study in MCSA, either it's a 410, 411, 412, 413, 414, whatever we are studying. The easiest way is go to the Google and type one thing, exam 7410. And see, now I can find one Microsoft site. So exam 7740, installing and configuring Windows Server 2012. If I click on it,
exam 70 4010?
yeah, 70-410. How much we have to pay? $165 US, right?
I thought it's competitive will schedule an exam for it.
I don't know what the how you have paid and what you have done. I have no idea. It's management issues. So mostly if we did not pay for exams to the college, we have to book ourselves. But if we have paid to the colleges already, then colleges book the exams. So it can be a different for every individual. So if we are here, come down and see skills measured. In skills measured, we have all of these topics. Install and configure servers. If I expand this, it's saying okay, install servers, configure local storage. So these topics will be covered, and the exam percentage, the questions related to this topic will be on the exam from 15% to 20%. So then the next is Then they are talk about okay, plan for server roles, configure server role, preparation resources. And then the second is configure server roles and features. Again, weightage is 15 to 20%. Configure file and share access, configure print and document services, configure servers for remote management. So Windows remote management, we will talk about those things in this area. And the question related to this portion will be covering the part of 15 to 20% of the exam. Then come here, configure Hyper-V. So we will be talking about Hyper-V when we will be on this portion. So create and configure virtual machine settings, create and configure virtual machine storage, create and configure virtual networks. So if we will talk about only configure virtual machine, it's saying configure dynamic memory, configure smart paging, configure resource metering, configure guest integration services, and then create and configure generation 1 and 2 virtual machines, configure and use enhanced session mode, configure remote FX. So all details are here. So all of the topics related to 410. It's in the exam. What is coming on the exams? When you will be on the book, what we are studying, it will be a slight different. Maybe the book will not be covering all the things in nitty-gritty, but we are going to cover these topics. The thing is, and then the exam, when you will be in the actual exam is not coming from only theory. Exam are based on we have experience from the industry. You know, when you will be sitting in the exam, the first one survey will pop up. Not survey, but they will be asking few questions. How much experience do you have, right? They ask about it, and usually we lie there. This much. The thing is, they don't expect these certifications from fresh guys. Fresh guys should have some kind of degrees from universities or colleges. Not these certifications. These certifications, for example, I did some master degree in 1999 or 2000, and then I start working in the field. And after Microsoft released 2003, right, in 2003, now I need to upgrade my knowledge. So I will come to this certification, but my base is my master degree, right? On base of that, now I need to know, okay, what the changes Microsoft has done to its operating systems. And now when it's released to 2008, I need to upgrade my knowledge to show the industry I have current knowledge. I'm not sitting on the first degree, right? Then 2012 and 2016 like that. So they always assume the guys who are sitting in these exams, they have some kind of experience. Only that's why many people depends on. So then see over here we have again deploy and configure core network services. So here all networking, we will be talking about DHCP, those things. We will not be in this sequence, but we will be covering all the topics. Install and administer Active Directory. See, they put almost in the bottom the Active Directory, but we need to discuss in the earlier classes. Without this thing, we cannot move towards our labs. We cannot build our labs. But they are saying, okay, please discuss these things at the end. But the thing is, if you guys notice, they did not give it any sequence. So it's a 1 and it's a 2 and it's a 3. No, they just enlisted them. So they give some percentage, okay, from this time to this much questions will be related to these topics. And then the last one, create and manage group policies. Sir, should I read all the topics for you?
No, sir, that's more than enough.
So it's not this class, whichever you guys are. I was expecting this question yesterday, and I shared this thing with Sayyid Saab. I said, I'm surprised no one asked what we are going to study. Everyone is ready to study. Whatever I will let them know. But usually students don't ask questions. That's the weakest part as a student we have. So whenever you guys are starting some course, always explore that topic. If the informations are not provided by the instructors or the colleges, it's internet and everything is available there. You should know what you guys are going to study. Who would like to write the exam in Chinese?
Chinese.
Andy?
We should go back to China. Give me a term of Chinese, I should translate to English first. Otherwise, I don't know what it is.
So guys, on server manager, then we have local server. We came to this area yesterday to configure our server. Then we have all servers. What does it mean, all servers? So we can add the same server manager of LT.DC1, the multiple servers. So we can access those servers from here. It will not be giving us an interface of that server, but we will be able to install different roles and features using this server manager of this server. So we can install the features on others. Then we have file and storage services here. So all server, volume, disk, storage pools. What we were going, usually earlier we were dealing these area disks and volumes in disk management by going through control panel, computer management. But now we can take care of these things on our server manager. If I click on manage, see add roles and features. If I am using this one, I am going to add roles and feature to this server. Remove roles and features, add servers. If I am going to use this one, add servers, I can add more servers to this server manager. Then create server group. We can group whatever the servers we can add over here, we can group them. Okay, 2 of the group and 3 or 4, but however, if they are behaving the same and we want them to shut down and the start at the same time, we can do this. And then we have tools. See, computer management we can access from here instead of going through control panel. It's another way now. Performance monitor, resource monitor, usually we were able to access through our control panel first, right? And then we were exploring different areas. Now multiple options are available here, PowerShell. So we can do pretty much most of the things from this one window. That is our server manager dashboard. Then we have add other servers to manage. It's from manage as well. Create a server group. We can either access from here or there. And these are the tiles available. Whatever we are going to add the role, it will get a tile on this server manager, separate tile. Right now, file and storage services, local server, all servers. All server we have only one server, so it's showing 1. So if we have add more servers here, it will be showing 2 or 3 or 4, whatever it is. So sometimes, the students call me, okay sir, we don't have this window. Configure this local server, add roles and features. This one. They usually don't see the window. It's always please click on view and then hide volume tile, welcome tile, or unhide welcome tile. If I will click on hide welcome tile, I'm not going to show that, see that, right? So if you guys are not seeing that, and it's a big, always concern of the students, sir, we don't have how to configure now. So please click on view and then show welcome tile. So it will be back. So let's install one role on this server. So please click on this add roles and features. Add roles and feature. Now we are on before you begin page. It's introduction. So whenever you guys have time, please try to read these things. So please click on next. Then again please next. Again we need to select a server from the server pool. We don't have any server pool, we have only this server. So next. And then please choose the second option, Active Directory Domain Services. When you will try to select this option, a window will pop up for features. So what type of these features are? These are the dependencies for that role. Without these features, that role is not gonna work. So it always asks, okay man, you need to add these features. Would you like me to add this, or you will go on your own? If we are not selecting here, the next page is for Windows feature. And then we will have to select one by one all of these features. Otherwise role is not gonna work. So we always go with the ease. So add features, click on add features. And now if you will move to the next page, that is features page, see the group policy management gets selected. There will be multiple features automatically get selected now. Remote server administration tools, whatever the required by Active Directory role, they get selected. So now please click next. We don't need to select anything here, and it's the introduction to the Active Directory. And then please click next. Whatever the role you guys will install, it will give you the intro, not only about the role, but if you guys are used to read and then do the click, each and every step is well explained by Microsoft on the Windows Server itself. Maybe we don't need to go anywhere else. So please click next. And on confirmation page, always make an habit to check mark this box. Okay, restart the destination server automatically if required. So sometimes we install the role, we forget if and restart is required, and we forget to restart. That role is not functioning now, right? So click yes and then install. It's done with everyone? Yes. Fatima? Not yet? So please click on close if it's done, or if you don't want to close, you guys can click on promote this server to a domain controller. The hyperlink on this window is available to promote this server to domain controller. Is it visible or I did not? Fatima, is it okay to see you? Understand or you can see? Waleed? So I don't need to enlarge the window, right?
He's asking to close the lens on, better we can see clearly more.
Nawaz bhai's orders are very important, Baji.
नहीं नहीं मैं बस लाइट बिल्कुल अच्छा नहीं
अच्छा, light off कर दे.
जी
I perceived your order wrongly. Do we have any power button here?
Who's the senior student here?
सौरभ
The most senior.
Sit there with
Maybe Andy?
Most senior is Alvin. Alvin, yeah.
है ना Hello, Lee. You know about everything, you know.
Yeah.
So what did you do?
was it or
You're the senior guy. Come on,
We can go from here.
find the
I need to close it to show if someone did not get this
senior citizen.
option, and if accidentally close it, then. So guys, please click on this hyperlink to promote this server to a domain controller, and let me close to show you the other way. So if we have closed the window, then this notification area, this flag is for notification. So there will be always a triangle, yellow triangle. So there is a notification available. So please click on this triangle and then promote this server to a domain controller. Same option is here. So which option should we choose, Jun? We have three options here. Add a domain controller to an existing domain, add a new domain to an existing forest, add a new forest. First,
Yeah,
pardon?
last one.
Last one, third.
Last one. There is no forest on the existing organization.
I need a means advice.
The first one.
First one, see. So I mean, add a domain controller to an existing domain. Do we have domain?
We just
It's a new server. You remember we said
Right
this
now,
server.
no, please. Right now, do we have domain? No. So we cannot add a new domain controller to an existing domain. There is no existing domain. And the second is add a new domain to an existing forest. Do we have existing forest? No. So the only option left, build a new forest, right? What is the new forest? What is forest? Absolutely. It's a jungle. So how we can start building our jungle, the new jungle?
We have to get the animals first.
We are enough here.
Add more trees. Add more bushes.
How we can have animals without anything arrangement, right? So just a piece of land. We will bring animals later after having some trees in the forest. So how we can start building our forest?
Name it first.
Name it first. Okay. Then
Then start arranging everything. Yeah, Sharif, go ahead.
when we will add the first tree in the jungle, in the forest, it means we have now started building our forest. Now we can say it's a forest. No matter what, we have only one tree there right now, but we have started building the forest, and as Sahrab is saying, we have given it a name. It's a forest. So our intention is to add more and more trees with every day. So every day we will keep adding more trees, and it will be ultimately a good forest jungle to have different animals inside. We can accommodate ourselves there as well, as suggested by Nawaz. So whatever our role will be there, Nawaz, Tarzan role or
Will be changed.
We used to have Mowgli.
You have to leave that.
So please click on add a new forest. We are adding a new forest, and it's popping up. What the option pops up? Root domain name. It's not saying the forest name.
This is like comes after server, right? So we directly jump into AD Active Directory.
Pardon?
Like once we learn server, we go to Active Directory, right?
One thing I request you to be loud. The thing is, we are not identified our course. It's a server and it's a Active Directory and it's a no something else. So we are studying 7410. There is no bifurcation. Okay, we need to study server and Active Directory. And when we are studying MCSA 2012 R2, there are few prerequisites. We should have a little knowledge of server. We should know about a little bit Active Directory even as well. So we should have these prerequisites. So what are the prerequisites? Server information and the Active Directory information as well. The reason is, as I said earlier, they assume we are coming from the industry and we are just polishing our knowledge and we are upgrading our knowledge to not up till 2012 level. So when they are saying over here otherwise server, we can talk about all the time hardwares, right, first, and then what we can have on top of that server hardware and server operating system. So to go there within living in MCSA, not possible. Otherwise we will be spending time there, and that's usually useless. If we know the hardware, if we know even one PC, it means we know the hardware, server hardware we know. And what we are going to do, it will keep introducing the server as well. Server is serving to the clients, and all the services those are required by the clients we are going to do on the server. So it will be an intro. We will be talking about server and Active Directory together. When we say infrastructure class MCSE, we will be going to repeat bunch of topics. But the thing is, there what we will do, we will be consolidating all of the components together. So even if we are hearing okay DHCP, DNS, over there we will learn okay how they work together, right? What the things depend on DHCP if we have DNS, and why DNS is required besides DHCP. How a client is, we just enter the client in the introduce a client in the system and it get registered in the DNS itself, right? Should be something there. So who's are the things who do all of these things? So how the components work together, and while building our infrastructure we have to look into that when we will be there. So right now we are following strictly our course outline. So whatever we have in our course outline, we are going to do that. So please specify the domain information for this operation, root domain name. So what can be the root domain name? LATEST, latest, TECH, tech. We already given this server name LT latesttech.edu.
Is the real domain?
Can be. It can be anywhere. I just came up with the name yesterday. First I was going with NP and then I think about this.
So it's a local domain.
Yeah, for us it will be a local domain, but why we always disable the internet card? Because whatever we are using name inside it might exist anywhere, right? So if our machines will go outside, they are not gonna be interacting their own environment's machine. They can start interacting somewhere else. So we always disable those cards because we use some meaningful name inside as well. We are not going with abc.com or xyz dot thing, right? So these are the real examples. So if you will search on Google, you might find latest tech because it can be a name. So root domain name is latesttech.edu. So please click on next.
So when you say root domain, what is the root domain?
You would expect each and every question answer from me. You have very intellectual guy sitting beside you. Ask him.
Root domain is the root to first tree.
Sir, he's not getting the option of for the next.
Good. So Al-Walid is asking something. It's saying, okay, what is root domain? So first we have a forest now. We have given it a name, latesttech.edu. But when we were typing there, we typed this name in front of a root domain. The option was root domain. Root domain means the first tree in the forest. The first tree in the forest, from where we are starting building our forest. So the both name will be the same. We are giving the name to the root tree, but that name is getting, forest is getting the same name automatically. So either we are saying, okay, this is my forest, latesttech.edu, or I am giving the name to my first root, and the forest will be recognized by its first tree. So first tree in our environment is now this one. It's not a hard and fast rule to represent the forest with the circle and the domain with triangle, but whenever I will be drawing, if I'm drawing a circle and then inside triangle, then this circle will represent the forest and the triangle will represent the domain. And we have one more thing, and if I'm drawing circle inside the domain, inside the triangle, then it will represent the sites.
What is it?
It will represent the site, location, physical location. So throughout the Active Directories discussion, these three components we will be keep discussing. Our forest, and I am representing the forest with circle, outer circle. Then I am representing domain with triangle, and then I'm inside the domain, I'm representing my sites with circle again. And then we are doing all of these things on our server. We are going to assign this role to our server. The server that holds the role of Active Directory domain services role, we call that server or DC.
It's the same for
Restart should be recorded, right?
you are about to sign.
Yeah, so it's restarting. What's your status is? It's done? Your PCs are very fast now, right?
Something happened.
Yeah. So guys, we missed the recording, the last portion. Maybe after the break we could not record. I forgot to turn it on. So I will try to find out some other video, mine video I have recorded where we are installing the domain controller. If I will able to find, I will upload that video as well.
Al-Walid is successful. Al-Walid is successful.
Al-Walid is successful? Al-Walid is successful or installation is successful?
His machine is successful. And he is more successful.
So it's done for everyone.
Yes, sir.
So please send Control Alt Delete by pressing this button. And now the login will be different. Before it was simple administrator written there. Now the domain name came first, right? So latest tech / administrator. We can log into domain like this or administrator at latesttech.edu. Right? So please enter the password.
सबका वही चला है.
Something different.
No, there is the netball's name is different.
Whose name is different?
Ravan.
Mine Saurabh is showing LP.BC1. And this one is latest.
You change the name when we are at NetBIOS?
Get BIOS? No.
These are the latest. How about you? Latest?
And it's not accepting my password. That's very good.
Yeah.
Why do you have to do it right?
No, I know why it's happening. Yeah, it's good now. You need to switch user, go back and type in.
Other
Yes, other user.